Participants in the Synod on the Amazon taking place at the Vatican agree their meeting is emphasizing both the importance of embracing indigenous culture and protecting the environment.
The problems are universal. The impact of the Synod will be universal, will affect all of us.
Cardinal Oswald Gracious from Bombay, India, talked about how women can concretely be involved in making pastoral decisions, how the Catholic faith can be lived while keeping Amazonian traditions, and how this meeting of bishops is a clear example of what a synod process should look like. The final document will be released in just a few days. Edward Penton, Rome correspondent for the National Catholic Register, joins us with more. Edward, there have been a lot of ideas that have been proposed in the last 2 weeks, but what concrete steps are being discussed about this synod?
Well, we heard yesterday at yesterday's briefing from the head of the Latin American bishops that they're hoping to create what he's called a new ecclesial body to help bring unity to the Amazon nations. This was one of probably the most concrete examples we had. We also heard about the efforts to try and get governments to help the Amazonian people more, and also to have new models of energy as well. But the most concrete example was this new ecclesial body.
And this synod hasn't been limited to just the indigenous culture, but also environmental issues, which of course has had a top focus. What can you tell us more about that issue in particular?
Yes, well, there's been a high level of consensus on the environmental issues, climate change and so forth, so much so apparently that the final document only has small sections dedicated to it because there has been so much agreement. But going back to what I said just a moment ago about the new ecclesial body to unify Amazonian nations, there is speculation that that is also connected with this what's called a AAA project, which is aimed to create a sort of natural nature reserve across the Amazon, consisting of all the countries there, and make it into a kind of supranational body. Now, whether it's connected to that, we don't know, but it does seem to be similar. And that project was interestingly founded by Martin von Hildebrand, who is actually the grandson of Dietrich von Hildebrand, the famous German theologian and philosopher.
Very interesting. All right, we'll keep our eye there on the work on the final document, but changing gears, there has been a development that we're following in the Vatican finances. There's been a clearing of the name of the senior figure. Tell us about that. Who is he and why is this significant?
Yes, well, Tommaso Di Ruzza is or has been the director of the Financial Information Authority. He was named as one of 5 officials in the Vatican who were suspended after a raid a few weeks ago. But the Vatican has said today, because his name was released and he was rather dragged through the press, unfairly many thought, that they've actually come out with a statement saying that he did not act improperly and they have full faith and trust in him. So essentially they put out the statement to clear his name.
Well, a lot of important news that are kind of trickling out of Rome with regards to this investigation into the Vatican finances. So we appreciate your staying on top of that, as well as the Synod. Edward Penton, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register. Thanks so much.